After almost 2 years of New Zealand's border being closed and countless heartbreaking moments when families have been kept apart, the arrival gates were flung open today. The first plane loads of Kiwis who had been stuck in Australia arrived home this afternoon. And the government's just announced that from Wednesday at 11:59 p.m, all Kiwis arriving home from Australia won't have to self-isolate if they've tested negative for COVID. And as of this Friday at 11:59 p.m, Kiwis returning from the rest of the world will be able to come home. That's 9 days earlier than planned, and not isolate if they've tested negative. What it means is that if you wanted to go to LA, for example, on holiday next week, you could come back when you wanted, and if you're COVID-free, not have to isolate. Political editor Jenna Lynch reports.
There truly is no place like home. No place like a mum's cuddle. And for these Kiwis, home is all they've been dreaming of after months of being locked out.
We're not going to cry. We're not crying today. But yeah, we're very excited.
The first arrivals from Australia free to land without MIQ-inflicted misery. The scenes at Auckland Airport like something out of Love Actually.
Yeah, definitely a relief to be home.
Really happy. Yeah. Really happy.
This morning they boarded planes across the ditch thinking they'd have to self-isolate for a week when they landed. But the government had a special welcome home present, the gift of freedom.
Beyond 11:59 on Wednesday, no one will be required to self-isolate any further.
COVID is everywhere. Inside Parliament, Cabinet Minister David Parker tested positive yesterday, and outside Parliament, 17 reported cases among this lot.
It is a COVID camp.
As our community cases climbed into the thousands, the government requested urgent border advice from its COVID guru, Sir David Skegg. He told them the obvious: the border is not riskier than the community right now.
So given the rapid change in risks posed, we believe it's now appropriate to drop the requirement for self-isolation of fully vaccinated travellers.
So hit the accelerator on the reopening plan. First step, as of Wednesday, self-isolation is dropped for those returning from Australia. As long as you're negative, you're free to roam. Those who've already touched down, set free Wednesday too. Step 2 will open to other Kiwis faster. New Zealanders across the rest of the world can now return a week earlier from midnight Friday. Same rules apply, no ISO if you test negative. And step 3, speed up breaking the border open for tourists. Again, no isolation required with a negative test, but no date yet.
I know this will be welcome news to the members of our team overseas, eager to travel home to see loved ones as soon as possible. We can't wait to see you.
Our broken tourism towns can't wait for a date.
Great to have some surety in the longer term that we are going to open, but we're in for a tough old few months again.
And the explore your own backyard phase may be coming to an end. With no isolation requirements from this Friday for New Zealanders, Kiwis can fly again, anywhere we like.
Oh, straight over to Aussie.
UK, see family and friends.
Oh, I'd probably like to go to Mexico.
The world suddenly becoming our little isolation nation's oyster. The border was the first restriction New Zealand put in place, and today, 2 years after we recorded our first ever COVID case, the easing of it brings a glimmer of hope. But Sir David Skegg warns we are nowhere near out of the woods, and that's why he's not recommending the border be flung wide open just yet. Buckle in for a bumpy couple of weeks. Jenna Lynch, Newshub.
Tom McRae joins us now from Auckland International Airport, and despite the bumpy road ahead, Tom, some very happy Kiwis are about to arrive home.
Yeah, 100%, Samantha. Another 4 flights are expected to arrive this evening. And while understandably today has all been about family and friends reuniting, it's really hard to overstate just how important and massive a deal this is for the tourism and travel sectors. Really, apart from the very short-lived Trans-Tasman travel bubble, they've had absolutely no good news in the last 2 years. I spoke with both Air New Zealand and Flight Centre about what today's announcement means and just how busy they expect to be.
It's huge. It really is huge. It's been hard. And so for us, you know, this has been the light at the end of the tunnel. So we're really excited today. It sort of marks the start of you know, seeing aviation kicking off again, tourism hopefully in New Zealand in the future. So bring it on.
We have been waiting for this time for a long, long time. We are absolutely ready for it. So we believe our phones are going to be kind of off the hook as of tomorrow because there's that confidence to come back.
And in more good news, both companies also told me that one of the first things they actually need to do is go on a bit of a hiring spree, because of course thousands of people in the tourism and travel sectors were laid off as soon as the borders closed. But I guess all things considered, that's not a bad problem to have.
Tom McRae there at Auckland International Airport. Thanks so much, Tom.